This is take two, ladies and gentlemen. Our first take was just downright awful. Very awful. I am your host, Captain Boyne. This is your 10-minute sports report for Monday, the 30th of October, the day before Spooktober, Halloween 2023. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Don't forget to like us and subscribe to us and follow us on Instagram at 4th and 1 Podcast. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe on YouTube, and share with all of your sports illiterate friends or people who want to follow sports but only have time for 10 minutes as they drive in the car. Feel free. Bring them on over, share it with them, and I will do them good in their world. I have the least surprising news of all time. I have NFL scores, college football scores, NHL scores, World Series scores. Let's just get right into it. All right. Son of head coach Kirk Ferentz, offensive coordinator Brian Ferentz for the Iowa Hawkeyes will not return in 2024. They wrote it into his contract this past offseason. The team would need to average 25 points per game during the 2023 season and win at least 7 games for Ferentz's 2-year rolling contract to be reactivated beyond June 30th, 2024. And they are not meeting that. Iowa is well below the 25 points per game provision in Ferentz's contract, ranking 118th nationally, scoring 19.5 points per game. The Hawkeyes are last nationally in yards per game at 232 and well behind the next worst offense, Eastern Michigan, at 258. They faced several setbacks, including losing former Michigan players Cade McNamara, tight end Luke Lachey, he was Iowa, but then the other Michigan player is Eric All. Since 2017, when Brian Ferentz, took over the offense, Iowa ranks 98th nationally, scoring 25.3 points per game, but the offense has averaged just 20.4 points since the start of the 2020 season. So this is the least surprising news of all time. If Iowa had a competent offense each of the last 2 years, they are college football playoff contenders. They probably make a run. They probably win a Big Ten title. My guess is they probably beat Michigan, maybe, in either one of the 2 years. Their defense is amazing. Their special teams are amazing. They're just kind of amazing through and through, everywhere but offense. Well, speaking of offense, there was a lot of it during the college football Saturday, week 9. We got like 4 weeks left. Oh my goodness. 10, 11, 12, and 13. We got 4 weeks left this coming Saturday. I am sad, but also happy. It's just a good old time. I love college football. I never want it to leave, and it always comes Labor Day, and then before I know it, I blink, and it's past Thanksgiving, and I don't know what to do with my life anymore. LOL. Anyway, there were a lot of points this weekend. Starting in Jacksonville, where number 1 Georgia beat unranked Florida 43-20. Number 3 Ohio State was challenged. They were only up 17-10 until late in the fourth quarter when Travion Henderson, who rushed for 24 times for 162 yards and 1 touchdown, scored that touchdown to win the game 24-10 against Wisconsin. Florida State routed Wake Forest 41-16. Washington held on against Stanford 42-33, and it was really 35-33 because Stanford turned it over on downs inside their own territory, and then Washington just took it in for a quick score. Number 6 Oklahoma. It was one of my picks this week, and it paid off. Number 6 Oklahoma fell to unranked Kansas 33-38. So there are no more unbeatens in the Big 12. Texas blasted BYU 35-6. Oregon blasted number 13 Utah 35-6. So Oregon, I think, is better than Washington despite the head-to-head loss. Oregon's number 8, by the way. Penn State needed a late touchdown, and then they got a safety in the fourth quarter to beat Indiana 33-24. They were hungover from Ohio State. Oregon State lost to Arizona on the road 27-24. Ole Miss routed Vanderbilt 33-7. Notre Dame, finally, their offense woke up. They scored 27 points in the third quarter to beat Pittsburgh 58-7. North Carolina started hot, ranked number 10 in the land, has now lost 2 straight games, giving up an average of 40-plus a game. They allowed 24 points in the second quarter and 22 in the fourth quarter to let Georgia Tech rally and beat them 46-42. Louisville hammered Duke. Riley Leonard, clearly on that injured ankle, was not himself, 23-0. The Colorado State student section got a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty called on them because they were throwing snowballs at the Air Force bench. Meanwhile, America, we've been through worse than snowballs coming from a student section. We prevailed 30-13 over Colorado State. Tennessee beat Kentucky with a late touchdown in the fourth quarter, 33-27. Tulane beat Rice by 2, 30-28. Number 23, UCLA hammered Colorado 28-16. It really wasn't that close. UCLA had 4 turnovers in the first half. They sacked Shadur Sanders like 8 times. It was a living nightmare for Colorado and Shadur Sanders on Saturday. Number 24, USC got a 1-point win, 50-49. USC's defense is so bad, and they take on Washington, who can put up points this weekend. And then finally, James Madison, number 25, James Madison from the Sun Belt, beat Old Dominion 30-27, and they are 8-0. All right, take you through some NFL scores from Week 8. Raiders and Lions still have to play tonight, Monday Night Football. Eagles beat the Commanders 38-31. Taylor Swift was not at the game, her boyfriend's game, and it suffered. They lost to the Broncos 24-9. Cowboys hammered the Rams 43-20. Vikings beat the Packers. Titans beat the Falcons in Will Levis's debut. He threw 4 touchdown passes. The Saints beat the Colts. The Dolphins got back on their winning ways to beat the Patriots. The Jets beat the Giants in overtime. More injuries on MetLife in the Battle of New York. There were like 9 people injured in yesterday's game. Jaguars beat the Steelers. Panthers beat the Texans. Seahawks beat the Browns and are 5-2 and leading the NFC West, which many people thought the 49ers would walk away with. The Ravens are 6-2, beat the 1-7 Arizona Cardinals. The Bengals beat the Niners, hence giving the Seahawks the lead in that division. And then the Chargers beat the Bears 30-13. Alrighty. Meanwhile, over the weekend, so Friday, I said the World Series was starting Friday night. Well, the Rangers took Game 1 6-5 on a walk-off home run by Adolis Garcia in the bottom of the 11th. So the Rangers took a 1-0 lead in the best of 7. And then in Game 2, it was all D-backs all the time. They win 9-1. It was never in doubt. They had 16 hits, no errors. The Rangers only had 1 run on 4 hits. Tonight coming at you, and then tomorrow coming at you. Tonight is Game 3 of the series tied at 1. This is in Arizona. And then tomorrow, Tuesday the 31st, Halloween, and Wednesday the 1st are games 4 and 5, and then it will go to Game 6 on Friday and Saturday, 6 and 7, if necessary. Alrighty, and then over the weekend, let's see what took place in the NHL and where we are at with that. On Friday, the Vegas Golden Knights lost to the Chicago Blackhawks 4-3 in overtime. They get a point. Dumbest rule in all of sports, in my personal opinion. Saturday, the Anaheim Ducks were on the road at Philadelphia and won 7-4. The Seattle Krakens were on the road at the Florida Panthers and lost 3-2. And that's it for, and the Vegas Golden Knights were in Los Angeles and they won in a shootout 4-3. So do you still get a point for a shootout loss? Comment down below. Do you get a point for a shootout loss in hockey? Great. Sunday, yesterday, the Colorado Avalanche were at the Buffalo. I should know this. They lost, though, 4-0. And so that happened yesterday. However, the standings. So, in the Western Conference, all teams are in the Western Conference. Colorado Avalanche are leading the Central in the Western Conference. They are 6-2-0 with a total of 12 points. The Vegas Golden Knights are 8-0-1 with a total of 17 points and leading the Pacific. Then the Anaheim Ducks are in fourth place at 4-4-0 with 8 points, and the Kraken are right behind them at 2-5-2 with 6 points. So again, still got to figure out how the playoffs work, but song for another time. And that'll do it for this 13-minute edition of the 10-Minute Sports Report. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Oh, we do have another subscriber, so welcome. The 23rd person ever. I am your host, Captain Boring. Remember, wash your hands, you filthy animal. Remember, God loves you. May God bless you. And wash your hands, you filthy animals. Peace out.